meaning to ask you, I wrote my blog this week about leadership. Who's your favorite leader?
Well, besides you, there's a lot out there. I would say one that I really like in particular is Grylls.
Oh, he's my babe.
Whenever you want to go on a hike, and I like hiking and going outdoors, he gets you in the zone. And I still watch his old show, Man vs. Wild,
Me too.
on Netflix sometimes. And I also read his book when he climbed Everest too. So very inspirational, and humble as well.
Yes, I was gonna say, I love his humility and his confidence and how they like play out at the same time. Did you see that episode of Running Wild with Grylls? When he takes former President Obama to Alaska?
Oh no, I didn't.
Yeah.
I heard it was a good one though.
It was really good. It was what I loved the most is both of them were so humble about being in each other's presence. President Obama kept saying like, "Oh, thank you so much for having me on the show." And Grylls was like a giddy little kid. And was like, "I'm so honored. I can't believe this is happening." So I just love that when leaders can humble themselves, especially in front of each other.
Absolutely.
Remember when we did the 50-mile Trans-Catalina Trail?
How could I ever forget? That was pretty crazy.
So what was your favorite part?
I just loved the views were amazing.
Yes.
It was basically
Breathtaking.
just a 50-mile, and then the island was like on a mountain on a ridge, and you could see the Pacific Ocean on either side. It was just so scenic.
Yeah.
But it was also completing the task at hand of hiking 50 miles.
Overcoming that challenge. What was the hardest part?
The hardest part, probably our first night when
I would agree.
because we went camping a little ways inland of the starting line, which is basically the edge of the island. We were camping a little bit further in, so when we got to our campsite, we unloaded and we wanted to come back to the starting line and hike at least back to our campsite, so then we could say that we started it.
Yeah.
And that was over at Starlight Beach.
Starlight.
When we left, it was afternoon, and then when we decided to turn around and come back, it was closer to sunset. And that's when we ran into the buffalo, which is crazy. There's so much buffalo there. Huge buffaloes.
Big horns.
Big horns. They could kill you.
There's a warning to stay away from the buffalo.
But I love how you had a plan. We saw the buffalo that was blocking our trail, and we were nervous about sunset and being out there in the dark. But we climbed a tree.
Yes.
And we were just waiting there until it passed, and it did. And then we hiked back, and we saw some cool things. We saw some scary things.
We had headlamps.
Yes.
And hiking poles that we were using to create some distance between us and anything else in the dark that could come towards us. We had whistles.
Yep.
Remember the glowing eyeballs?
Yes, that was crazy.
So we were in the dark and we look over to
We didn't
the
know
left,
they were eyeballs at first. We just look
and
over.
we just see all these glowing spears just floating in the field.
Yep.
And then we realized, oh, those are eyeballs of some type of large creature. Maybe deer.
And then they moved, and then we got super scared.
Yeah, but we kept it together. There's something about that adrenaline rush that, like, I can do this. I know I can do this.
Yeah. And not to throw Boy Scouts under the bus, but there were Boy Scouts there, and they seemed to not be as equipped with the outdoors as we were.
Yeah, we had a lot more skills.
That's what I love, too, is that you were fully prepared as the guide.
Ready.
You
I
were
researched. I knew there was going to be buffalo.
ready for any scenario, trip that you're going to go on, that we will be going on maybe in Spain.
Yes, next summer. 2018.
I know that you probably won't put people in that position, but if they were in that position, they would be able to succeed easily because you definitely are ready for any scenario. Then the last day wasn't my favorite, but it was the most challenging because I think we went the furthest just to finish.
Yeah, like 17 miles maybe?
Yeah, and just we were kind of in like podcast mode. I don't know if you encourage that anymore. We got to the point when we had enough conversations with each other and we were like, all right, let's just throw in the podcast.
Yeah.
And then we just
soul searching.
We just got right into it and dug in deep.
Yes.
But each mile is just like, all right, there's another one. There's another one.
Endurance. And it feels so good when you tackle something that you know is challenging. And at the end, you're like, I'm awesome. We're awesome.
Yep.
Why would you want to go on a trip with me? Another trek.
You're always fun. You're prepared. You have a plan. You have an itinerary, you have food options, and because you're a free spirit, you'll be able to adjust and kind of go with the flow, what the group wants. It'll just be a complete trip. You'll never kind of question it or wonder why. It'll happen. And with these trips, always one of the best things is the soul searching component to it. And I feel like every time I go on a trip with you, I become more of a person. So
I love it. Oh, it's beautiful. Get ready for a spiritual trekking adventure. The Camino de Santiago in northern Spain, Meditative Yoga Pilgrimage. Sign up now to save at least 10% on the early bird special ending on October 31st. Go to my website at www.halfmoonyogaandart.com, and you can even select the $600 deposit, which will save the price for you. And I'll see you next summer. Thanks, Lawrence.
no problem. Love you, sis.
Love you too. Can't wait for next summer in Spain.
Absolutely.
Buen camino.
Buen camino. Buen camino.